Life has an uncanny way of taking unexpected turns, and my journey hit a sharp curve during what was supposed to be a routine right heart catheterization. The news hit hard. My pulmonary artery pressure had skyrocketed to a dangerously high level. Suddenly, my day-to-day reality morphed into an unplanned hospital stint. Those next 7 days were a roller coaster of emotions and revelations. I found myself navigating in a maze of medical jargon, diagnostic tests, needles every 4 hours, and the surreal process of understanding just how serious my heart condition had become. It was like being handed a script for a drama I never auditioned for, and I struggled to find my lines. Embracing the reality of my serious heart condition became a vital aspect of these first 7 days. While I can't claim full acceptance, I've transitioned from the initial shock of the unexpected to a more practical acknowledgement of the situation. Though I'm gradually gaining understanding, complete acceptance remains a distant horizon. The medical team, with their patience and expertise, has been guiding me through the intricate details of my heart's challenges. Each conversation feels like an unplanned crash course in a subject I never anticipated delving into. Amid the medical whirlwind, I had to think about consenting to the initiation of advanced heart failure therapies. This decision is the most important decision I need to make as soon as possible to save the other organs, like the kidney and liver, from failing because my heart was not supplying enough blood. First on the list of advanced therapies was the intra-aortic balloon pump. It's a temporary companion for my heart as it weathered the storm. It was like a supportive friend amid chaos, helping my heart regain its rhythm. But that also means I'll be bound to the bed for a week, and I cannot bend my torso and my leg. Next was the Impella heart pump, joined the ensemble. It's a high-tech addition to the solutions cask. This device wasn't just a piece of machinery, it was a lifeline, providing support my heart needed to keep going. Suddenly, terms like pump assistance and medical support were part of my everyday vocabulary. Then the LVAD, or left ventricular assist device, became a potential long-term player in this medical saga. It was a decision that required severe contemplation. It's a device that could become a constant companion as it will be attached to me for God knows how long, sustaining my heart's function and rewriting the rules of my daily life. And then the heart transplant card was on the table. It's a procedure that carried both the weight of complexity and the promise of renewal. But the thought of a new heart and a second chance at life was both exhilarating and daunting. It meant diving into the unknown, placing trust in the hands of skilled, amazing surgeons and the possibilities of modern medicine. As I reflected on this unexpected detour in my life, it became clear that this journey was more than a physical one. It was a test of resilience, an exercise in embracing vulnerability, and a lesson in the unpredictability of life's script. Each step, from the shock of the cath lab to the contemplation of a heart transplant carried with it a blend of uncertainty, hope, and a determination to keep moving forward. Here's to the unexpected, the unplanned, and the uncharted. For in those moments, we discover the strength we never knew we had. Thank you. Navigating the complex landscape of congestive heart failure brought me to a crossroads where a second opinion became more than a choice. It felt like a necessity. The prospect of advanced therapies like Intra aortic balloon pump, an Impella heart pump, LVAD, and eventually a heart transplant loomed large, and I found myself yearning for the reassurance of confirmation from a different perspective. It wasn't about expecting a different result. It was about seeking validation from another set of experts, another hospital's team. The gravity of the decisions ahead prompted me to pause and consider that extra layer of certainty before diving into a series of surgeries that could reshape the course of my life. Embarking on a journey to seek a second opinion proved to be a formidable task. Beyond the bureaucratic maze of paperwork, medical record transfers, and coordinating consultations with a new team of specialists, the most pressing challenge arose in physically transferring me to the other hospital. Given the lengthy waiting time for an available ambulance, hospital bed, and personnel, the current hospital warned of a potential week-long delay. I'm unwilling to wait. So I engaged in a heartfelt discussion with my spouse, who is a professional nurse, and convinced of my strength, we made the daring decision to walk to our car in the parking lot and drive ourselves to the ER of the new hospital. Despite the insistence of my current doctors to remain continuously monitored during transport, impatience pushed me to take the most significant risk of my life. With the catheter in my neck carefully removed and patched to stop bleeding, we embarked on the drive, exercising utmost caution, of course. And then arriving safely at the next hospital was an overwhelming relief, making a significant step taken with a profound sense of responsibility to myself and to those who cared about me. As I sat across from a fresh set of doctors, sharing my medical history and the proposed treatment plan, there was a mix of nerves and hope. It was a vulnerable moment, laying bare my fears and uncertainties, yet seeking affirmation. They listened, asked questions, and conducted their evaluations, offering insights and perspectives that added layers to my understanding. Ultimately, the second opinion didn't necessarily change the recommended course of action, but it provided me a profound sense of confirmation, knowing that another team of skilled professionals concurred with the proposed treatment plan. It brought peace and confidence to me. It reminded me that I wasn't navigating this journey alone, that multiple minds had come together to chart the best course for my heart health. The decision to embark on advanced therapies and inevitable surgeries is a great deal, both physically and emotionally. Seeking a second opinion wasn't a lack of trust in the initial diagnosis, It was a proactive step toward ensuring the best possible outcome for my health. It became a testament to the collaborative nature of modern medicine nowadays, where multiple perspectives converge to offer a comprehensive understanding of a complex condition. As I progress on this journey, the second opinion serves as a sturdy foundation, reinforcing my confidence in the decisions made. It's not just a medical checkpoint, it's a reminder that in the pursuit of better health, seeking additional perspective can be a powerful and empowering choice. Now I felt more ready for the advanced treatment. Picture this roller coaster of a ride. So week 3 in the hospital with the intra-aortic balloon pump, or IABP. After I got the second opinion I had been looking for, I started embarking on this wild medical adventure as soon as I got settled in the new hospital, which is Northwestern Hospital in downtown Chicago. Now, what is this balloon pump? The balloon pump is this nifty mechanical device that helps your heart pump more blood. It is a long, thin tube with a balloon attached to one end. So the surgeon inserted the IABP through the artery in my right groin that goes all the way to the aorta, which carries blood from the heart to the rest of the body. So this balloon inflates and deflates in sync with the heartbeat, increasing blood flow to and from the heart. So you can imagine, it's like a superhero for my heart, working magic to boost blood flow and give my ticker a break. I don't know if you've ever been bedbound, but let me tell you, it's a whole mood. As a very active and always independent person before this heart failure, this whole situation in the hospital was disconcerting to me. I am beyond grateful to my rock star spouse and the squad of nurses who became my lifeline, doing everything for me. Literally everything. I mean, every move had to be careful and minimized so I didn't dislocate the balloon in my aorta if I misaligned my upper trunk with my right leg where the catheter decided to set up shop. I was bedbound the whole time and doing all the essential human routines in that position on bed. Not convenient and glamorous at all. This whole week was harrowing to say the least, but it was also humbling. You realize how much you take for granted when you can't even scratch your leg or brush your teeth without assistance. But here's the plot twist: gratitude. I am thankful to God and science for pulling off the ultimate collaboration. Now, this balloon pump isn't all rainbows and butterflies. There are many risks. Many risks, of course. It's like teetering on the edge of a tightrope between potential complications and the expected gains from this device. Some of the dangers explained to me before using this IABP. It could damage the artery where the IABP is inserted. It could also reduce blood flow to the limbs, kidneys, and other organs. Infections or bleeding at the insertion site. It could also rupture or displace the balloon. That's why my body and right leg have to be aligned at all times. Or allergic reaction to the balloon material. At some point, I had to stop reading and thinking about these risks as they freaked me out. I just needed to focus on the positive outcome of this procedure. But thank God none of these dangers happened. The outcome, though, is the jackpot. My kidneys were saved. The numbers on the chart, like the blood urea nitrogen or BUN and creatinine, started doing a happy dance, showing this gradual improvement and trending down to the normal range day after day. In the grand scheme, this whole experience was a wild ride. It's a mix of vulnerability, resilience, and a dash of medical marvel. I'm here, living proof that sometimes you just need a bit of faith, a sprinkle of science, and a lot of love and support. So here's to bouncing back from bedbound blues and celebrating the miraculous dance of life, one beat at a time. After a week with balloon pump, I am still alive and eager to move forward to the subsequent advanced treatments with renewed optimism. Hello, hello, friends. It's time for a heart to heart again about my ongoing medical journey. The latest chapter involves trading in the Intra aortic balloon pump for the Impella ECP heart pump. ECP stands for Expandable Cardiac Power. Sounds fantastic, right? Well, it's been a game changer, and I'm here to spill the beans. So let's talk about the Impella ECP heart pump. This thing is like a cool new gadget for my heart, and it's the world's smallest heart pump. After a good week of good results with the balloon pump, it was time to level up. The Impella ECP sets up camp in the upper right chest, a far cry from the groin adventures. There is a small cut near the collarbone, and voila, upgraded heart support. But it's still temporary. Now the procedure. It's not rocket science, but it's pretty darn close. Picture this. A sterile cath lab vibes, a small cut up top, and a catheter taking the express route to my heart. Insert the Impella ECP, like right here, finding its cozy spot in the upper right chest, expanding and actively pumping away to support my ticker. It's like a heart's little helper, giving me the boost I need. Let's talk about the risk. Let's keep it real here. Sure, there is a chance of infection, bleeding, or some potential trauma with the blood vessels, but with a top-notch medical team calling the shots, it's like having your private health avengers ready to tackle any curveball. Low risk, high support, sounds all good to me. However, after the surgery, there was some bleeding in the following days. I observed blood seeping through the chest dressing, and the dedicated nurse Taylor, who is impressive, spent nearly 4 hours addressing the external bleeding. Surgeons came by and inserted a small catheter to drain the internal bleeding into a pouch, which I kept for a couple of days. Thankfully, the bleeding has ceased at this stage, although the risks, though small or low, they were real, and I am grateful for the resolution. Now, the expected outcome. Brace yourselves for the excellent news. The Impella ECP isn't just a quick fix, it's a lifeline while waiting for a more permanent solution, like a heart transplant, actively supporting my heart It's like a trusty sidekick, or maybe the better term is in-kick, as it is implanted. It allows me to sit, stand, or even take a stroll. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving while I wait for that longer term treatment. And then, speaking of long term treatment, the choices narrow down to either the LVAD or left ventricular assist device or a heart transplant. I talked to my spouse, and supported by my spouse, I've chosen to prioritize the transplant option for the next 2 weeks, anticipating an organ offer, of course. But if none materializes, the plan is to undergo LVAD, then recover, strengthen, and then rejoin the heart transplant list after a few months or a year. But the best part is, I won't be waiting in the hospital. I'll be home trying to live a close to normal life. And now, recovery. Post-implantation is a mix of chill vibes and some severe rehab action. Meds, check. Physical therapy, you bet. Regular check-ins almost every hour with the heart squad to ensure everything's ticking along smoothly. Patience becomes my superpower as my body gets used to the Impella ECP's presence inside my chest for those 2 weeks. Adjustments. Oh yeah, they're part of the deal. But here's the silver lining. I've got this newfound freedom. Sitting, standing, and even going for a short walk outside my room, but still on the same floor. It's like my heart got the memo that it's time to embrace life, and the Impella ECP is my trusty companion on this journey. In a nutshell, my adventure with the Impella ECP has been nothing short of transformative. It's not just about getting by, it's about thriving, living, and patiently waiting for that long-term solution. Here's to innovation. Here's to heart health. And here's to a journey filled with heartbeats, both literal and metaphorical. After a 2-week recovery post-Impella, and without receiving any organ offers, I found myself faced with a choice. Either consent to LVAD or linger in the hospital indefinitely until an organ comes, or just decline all the treatments and blindly hope for improvement without the surgeries. Opting to move forward with the most reasonable direction that will keep me alive, as I always do, adelante. I am now prepared for the LVAD procedure. Cheers, everyone. Hello, friends. I wanted to take a moment to share with you the next episode in my continuing medical journey. It's been quite the ride, and I appreciate all the love and support you've shown me along the way. So let me dive into it. After undergoing the Impella ECP heart pump procedure, I embark on the next phase of treatment, surgery to receive an LVAD or left ventricular assist device. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar, an LVAD is an electromechanical pump that assists the heart in pumping blood throughout the body in support of cardiac circulation, which is used to either partially or to replace the function of the left ventricle of a failing heart completely. It's one of the two longer-term solutions for individuals dealing with heart failure, and the other is heart transplant. The surgery to implant an LVAD is no small feat. It's an open heart procedure that lasted almost 6 hours in my case. It wasn't until just a couple of hours before I was wheeled into the operating room that the gravity of the situation truly hit me. I was overwhelmed with emotions, desperately trying to reach out to my family in the Philippines and my closest friends, praying fervently that it wouldn't be the last time I saw their faces. Let me describe what LVAD procedure briefly. So when you're getting an LVAD, the surgeon cuts down the middle of your chest and then opens up the chest bone to get a clear look at your heart. And once they've gained a good view, they pop in the device, a not so little metal rotator or pump. Now, this LVAD thing has a few parts. The main part goes into the heart, and there's a tube that carries blood to the body's main artery, the aorta. And from there, the blood gets pumped around your body. Plus, a driveline cord links the pump inside to a control unit and battery pack outside the body. Once everything is set up and the LVAD is operating correctly, they'll take you off the heart-lung bypass machine, and your LVAD will start pumping blood like a champ. Easy peasy. After the surgery, when I finally regained consciousness, 8 hours passed, and I found myself surrounded by the comforting presence of my spouse and the two caring nurses in the cardiothoracic ICU. It was a moment of profound relief. I was still alive. But there was also fear, while still connected to the machines, with a tube in my mouth protruding from my body, which scared me more than the surgery itself. For the next 3 days, I remained in the ICU, battling fever and uncertainty. The nurses were my lifeline, tirelessly working to manage my temperature and ensure no complications. Finally, after 12 long hours, they removed the tube by asking me to cough it out. And with a quick pull by the nurse, the breathing tube was out, marking a significant milestone in the beginning of my recovery. I was receiving IV medications to prevent infections and thin my blood, and having tubes to drain fluids from the surgical wounds and urine from my bladder. You have no idea how many cords and tubes were attached in and out of my body, and the carousel of machines and monitors around me. It's remarkable how advanced medicine has become nowadays. But it's also scary for me to realize that I am the one on the receiving end of these medical advancements, rather than just observing them as a curious bystander. From there, I was moved to a step-down intermediate hospital room to continue my recovery. And each day brought new challenges, but also new milestones. I felt like a newborn, having to relearn the most fundamental human activities, such as talking, eating, standing, walking, and performing basic functions all over again. It was baffling. It was bizarre. Occupational and physical therapies and the many nurses in the hospital, including my fantastic spouse, became my daily companions, pushing me to become physically and mentally stronger. After 12 more days of hard work and determination, I received the best news that I was cleared to be discharged. Stepping out of the hospital, tears streaming down my face, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. 15 days post LVAD surgery, and after 45 days total in the hospital, I was finally going home. As we cruised down Lakeshore Drive with the car windows open, the crisp breeze of Lake Michigan on my face felt like pure freedom and a triumph. It feels good to be alive. Thank God Almighty. But the journey doesn't end here. A new chapter begins with the LVAD. A new chapter of recovery, strength, perseverance, and ultimately hope. While much work is still ahead, I'm ready to face it head on and prepare myself for a heart transplant once fully recovered. So to every one of you who has been by my side through it all, thank you. Your love and support have meant more to me than words can express. As I move forward on this journey, I do so with courage in my heart and a determination to embrace whatever lies ahead in this recovery. Here's to new beginnings and the promise of a brighter tomorrow with a continually beating heart. Thank you.